What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trailer Park.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. I hope you're all having a very good day today. It is Friday. Friday, yes, the weekend is here. And unfortunately, I'm sure some people out there probably have jobs they do have to work on the weekends, and for that, I say I'm truly sorry about that. But hey, we got to pay the bills somehow, right? I totally understand that. But I hope you're all having a very good day today. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. Now, if you could all please do me one favor, smash that like button. Give this video a like, or you know what, you could even give it a dislike. It's all good. Make sure you share it with a friend. I know I tweeted this out a little bit earlier. For anybody who didn't know that I do this. I do this show pretty much live every single day. Maverick Program, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here, sir. Now, today we are going to talk a little bit more about all this Spider-Man drama going on out there in the world. Just a lot of it seems a little bit too convenient. Just convenient timing, as we all know, we got Disney 23 getting ready to come up this weekend, and I don't know. I'm sure some of us feel like this is all seems to be a little coincidental or not so coincidental in the first place. And then just so much more surrounding this whole story, and we're gonna go ahead and get into that today. Okay, ooh, there we go. All right. Okay, maybe you all can hear me a little bit better now. Maverick Pilgrim says there hasn't been enough to dislike yet. Okay, well, for some people, I'm sure my face is enough to do the trick. But today, like I said, there's so much turmoil going on around this whole Sony Spider-Man Disney deal in the first place, and amongst a lot of that in the first place is the Marvel stands, the MCU stands, and everything out there. If you happen to be on Twitter or anything like that, or probably even Facebook. I don't really get on Facebook much anymore, but you see that there are people just like acting so ridiculously crazy about this whole issue, and like me, you guys know. If you follow me here on the channel long enough, you know that I'm like the hugest Spider-Man fan that there is. Okay, I absolutely love Spider-Man. My favorite character. You can see, I'm wearing a shirt, wearing a hat. I've got different Spider-Man stuff. Heck, look, check this out. Okay, and I know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be some of these MCU stands out there saying, "Oh, that stuff sucks." But look at that. I got this big old box set of this Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man when it came out, dude. Like I'm telling you, I love this stuff. But anyway, all that aside, it seems like there's so many people out there who are just so outraged by this whole thing, and it's like, whoa, everybody, like, there's people mad at Disney, there's people mad at Sony, and most people are, on one side or the other. There's not really too many people that seem to be mad at both, and that's just something I find absolutely hilarity. But the whole thing is we see this whole thing in turmoil. I think most of us out there want Spider-Man in the MCU, and are just not so happy with this news altogether. And at the same time, there's some of us who feel like me, I kind of feel like I like this version of Spider-Man. I like what's been going on in the MCU, but I'm not going to be upset if, this deal falls apart or anything like that. But as I was saying yesterday, I do truly believe that we're still going to get at least a third movie in the MCU with Spider-Man. I don't know all the ins and outs of what was on the original contract when they made it, but I'm almost dead sure the way this last movie ended, that they had at least one more secured for the future going forward. But people just seem to be so outraged by this. Like even yesterday, if you made it here to my live stream, towards the end, there were people in here from Japan and Korea and everywhere. Like they were in the comments fighting. I'm like, dude, like who are these people? Who are these people? And my little channel must have been like the thumbnail, or maybe it was the title or something I had out there. I don't know. It's whatever. It's whatever it is. Or maybe I was the only one doing a live stream at that minute talking about Sony Spider-Man. I don't know. It's just all it's all a little weird to me that some of these people found their way to my little channel, but it's all good. We appreciate all the support and all the views, and we're open to hearing yours here on the channel. Um, Maverick Pilgrim says you're right. Coincidentally, today begins D23. Definitely. Ryan Kennel Arcade Outpost, dude. I love that hat. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I got that at got that at Cinemark when Far From Home was on there at the theater. I went ahead and bought it, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I hate buying things in those kind of instances because I feel like everybody's going to be walking around with that hat now, you know what I'm saying? But I had to get one anyway because my son, he has a hat that's, it's not just like this one, but it's like, red and black, and it's got, the Spider-Man eyes on it just like this one does. So I had to have a matching hat with him too, had to get something to get, so we have something, because we got Batman hats too, you know. So he can look like his daddy, or so I can look like my son. Which is it? I don't know. You be the judge of that. But thank you. And Ryan, one of these days I need to get you on the show here. See if we can sit down and talk about some stuff. Just different nerdy stuff. I know you're big into Star Wars. I'm pretty big into the Marvel and the MCU. So maybe we just get together and just discuss whatever we love. And if you guys are here and haven't checked out Ryan's channel, you should definitely get out there and check out his channel. He's been doing he just started uploading videos not too long ago, and just sharing his love for Star Wars. He did some great videos on basically how to get into the EU if you're not into the Star Wars EU or anything like that. Some pretty informative videos, because like me, I like Star Wars, but I'm not like huge into Star Wars. Like I found out when the sequel trilogy started. I found out, I guess I wasn't that big of a fan of Star Wars, but you should go definitely check out his channel. He got some great content over there. Maverick Program says people loved Infinity Saga, and I think people are sad and scared that the good times are over. So this news makes some people react. Yes, definitely. Ryan Kendall says, I buy way too many sweet hats and sunglasses that I never find an excuse to wear. I know, and that's how it is for me too. Like I get some of these things, I'm like, ooh, like I'm like one of those people who buys all the toys and doesn't take them out of the box. I'm kind of like that with some of these things. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want this hat to get all old and beat up. I can't wear this thing anywhere, man. It's gonna get all sweaty and all faded, and it's gonna look all terrible. Same with some of my shirts too, especially like my band shirts. I feel that way about band shirts. Stu Juziax, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. So yeah, as I was saying, it just seems like so much of this news just happens to be just coming out around, just like conveniently around, as Maverick Pilgrim says, right here around D23. Now we all know that they're and that they're have plans, that they've all been trying to negotiate all these terms along the whole thing in the first place. And like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs of their contract, but I have a feeling we're still going to get that third movie in the MCU, just judging off of the way this last one ended. Because I know that Kevin Feige, seriously, I trust that Kevin Feige wouldn't have made a movie like that with an ending like that without knowing that there was going to be a continuing story going forward. I just have a feeling like now maybe the next movie, since the future's not sure, and I was talking about this yesterday, since the future's not sure, they probably have contingency plans to be like, okay, if they're not going to be any part, we need the next movie to go like this towards the end, so we can just cut it off, and that can be the end of it. We don't have to really have him associated with the MCU, and they may do that anyway. If things are going to be kind of up in the air and not for sure, they may do that anyway. They may have that ending planned to do that, where they may have other scripts where like, okay, we're like, things might work out, so let's go ahead and have everything ready to go. I mean, in case we all don't already see the genius that Kevin Feige has been in crafting the MCU so far, I truly do believe that. But like I was saying, like me, I still, as while I like this version of Spider-Man, I wouldn't be sad to see him go back to Sony. I won't be mad that he's out of the MCU or anything like that. Like I was saying yesterday, I mean, Spider-Man can carry a movie all on his own in the first place, but again, I just don't think that's going to happen. I've heard, some people saying like, it's not going to happen. There's just like too much money involved. And while that's absolutely true, I mean, there's a lot of money involved. The thing is Sony's proven that they can still be successful even outside of the MCU. And that really has nothing to do with the Venom movie doing good or anything like that. That just has to do that's simple facts. But honestly, I think that they're going to get a deal worked out here. There's really not a whole lot to worry about. But like I was saying, the timing of all this just happens to be a little bit convenient. Yesterday, I mean, we hear first there was this leak that was like an unofficial report. That Sony and Disney were no longer were basically going to be parting ways. There was nothing official. And then that same, God, I think it was that same day, wasn't it? Wasn't that same day, late in the evening, later in the day, Sony went ahead and released like an official statement saying they were sad about how all this is working out and all this and that. Wow, that seems a little bit coincidental. And meanwhile, have we even heard anything from Disney? I'm not for sure. But then all of a sudden, so we're all sitting here, like people like me are sitting here going, like, okay, like all this seems like, I don't know, let's just sit back and wait here. But then all of a sudden, now we got Stanley's daughter out there making some backhanded comments towards Disney. I mean, not even backhanded. She just straight took a bus and just like drove over them. You know what I mean? And just like pile drive them right into the ground. But at the same time, while I'm not saying that any of the things that she's saying is wrong or not even true, the thing is it just seems a bit convenient that now all of a sudden she's upset and saying something about this and not sooner. About like Disney and Marvel just basically wanting to use his properties to make money. They don't really care about the family and all of this and that. It just seems a little bit too convenient that all of this happens. For one, while there's so many people out there saying F Sony, right? Seems a little too convenient that all of a sudden, like, she's on their side. And, like, there's, like, nobody's, like, there are people attacking Disney too, but then, like, that boat has just been kind of going, it's just been shaken in the first place. This just all seems to be a little bit too convenient. And now I'm even hearing, seeing my boy Warstu drop a video earlier talking about now apparently there's rumors that Sony and Disney already have a deal ready to go. They're going to announce a D23, and this is all just a stunt to garner attention. And you know what? In the first place, I think a lot of us have been saying in the first place that, yeah, right? Of course, that's what it is. It's to sit there and build and drum up, talk, whether it's good or bad. We can see in this day and age that whether it's good or bad rumors, good or bad reactions, it gets people talking. It gets me making videos about it. It gets 10 other channels, 100 other, 1,000 other channels making videos about promoting their movies. I've been talking about this too, man. That's ultimately what we're doing. So, we see all these things like YouTube content strikes and people, getting all upset about those kinds of things because we're using content that's not technically ours and all these things. And the thing is like companies like that should be saying, hey, please use these clips in your videos. You know why? Because you're helping promote our movie. You know what I mean? Now I get it. They got people out there who are gonna use their clips and make heavily criticizing videos, and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I mean, that's just movie making, isn't it? That's just movie making. So it just seems a little too convenient that all of a sudden, all this is coming out, and then and the other thing I gotta say is, like his daughter's coming out and saying something, and and I get it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what she said. She might be right, she might be wrong. But what's all of a sudden her interest in it all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Now I gotta say, I will say that it hasn't even been quite a year since he's died yet or anything. So there is a grieving process, and I totally get that, and I totally understand that. Believe me of anybody, I do. My father died on the day that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man premiered at the movie theater. Okay, the first one. So. I get it, like I understand the whole, losing your father, like, the grieving process. I totally get that. It just seems all too convenient that it's coming out now and not before. And, maybe there was a news story about it before and I just didn't really hear about it. But the one thing I do ultimately have to say about some of this stuff is like, my father, when he died, the company he worked for years, and I'm pretty sure that they sent their condolences and everything to his to like for to my mother, and then for the funeral services and stuff like that. But the thing is like, just like she's saying in this report, like they didn't reach out to me, they didn't tell me, say anything to me or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, my dad only worked for them, and you're sure Stan Lee, he created all these characters and pretty much built this world, and they've done all these things to pay homage to him for that. I think everything that's happened is a thank you. So I just kind of think that it's wrong for her to just come out and just say outright that they actually don't care all any of this and that, and they're just in it for the money. Well, I mean, of course they're in it for the money. That's what they make movies for. You know what I mean? Now, is it solely for the money? I mean, probably so. They got stockholders. But at the same time, does that mean that they don't care? You know what I mean? It just seems, like they probably didn't reach out to everybody. You know what I mean? And at the same time, as far as I know, they themselves kind of had not the best relationship either. And I could be wrong. Maybe that's just stories once again out there perpetuated by the media that nobody actually really knows about in the first place. But again, we got to take a little bit of I don't know, take a step back and look at all these things. It seems like nobody's looking at a lot of this stuff. I mean, the turmoil it's caused, and now all of a sudden she's over here siding with Sony. Just all these different things. It just doesn't add up. You know what I mean? It seems too fishy to me. And now, like I said, there's even these rumors that they got everything worked out, and there's going to be a big announcement at D23. I don't know. Like that part of it, I don't know. I haven't seen any of those sources. That's one of those things. I just seen War Stew's video this morning, and who knows? That's the thing is like none of us really know, and that's we'll go ahead and get a little more into that. I see I got some people here talking here in the chats. Ryan says, "Buddy, I would love to come on. We can schedule something. Thanks for the plug. Yeah, certainly, man, certainly. And yeah, we need to get you on here one of these days and do just I don't know, just do like a little interview. I'm a small channel anyway, so but it's not really about that. It's about us just sitting down and having a great conversation, right? Heck yeah, that's what we all want to see." Maverick Pilgrim says, "Dude, I have found more good channels from you than any other content creator." Well, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I like to check out different channels, and I like some of them for different reasons. You know what I mean? And and I typically only shout out channels that I really truly do enjoy their content, or that I find interesting too. Some of them I just find interesting, and of course that would be why I enjoy them. Russell Wells Benjamin, welcome to the live stream, and thank you for being here, everybody. In case you don't know, I do have a Patreon. You can go follow that down in the description and become a Patreon supporter. And Russell Wells Benjamin is one of my newest Patreon supporters. I do thank you very much for that, Benjamin, for your patronage. Whoa. Well, this babyface menace, take off that hat, Mr. Clean. Oh, I know. Yeah. See, I finally caught up with my razor. Yesterday, I'm all nice and shaded, which I shouldn't have done because I've got something I'm going to do as part of my show tonight that on the Trailer Park Live that I didn't that I could have used all that facial hair for. Aggressively Relaxing says, "I have this hat from the set of Ant-Man and Wasp that has Scott's company's logo ex-con on it. I have worn it to death and I'm so disappointed in myself." I know, man. That's how it is, like you want it to stay nice, but you can't keep from wearing it because you're like, hey, I don't see a whole lot of other people with it, and then like, yeah, you sweat in it and then it gets ruined and you're like, oh, man. Russell Wells Benjamin says, "Do y'all watch E-Man movie reviews?" I do. I actually do watch E-Man's movie reviews. I do. And it must be that YouTube algorithm because I haven't seen him drop a video in a long time, and I'm sure he has. And I haven't seen it coming across my subscription feeds or anything neither. I'll have to check out, and I didn't unsubscribe to him. He says, "Another great channel with great info and no clickbait BS." Yeah, no, and he just talks about things too, and he's kind of like me. He presents his own theories as well. He's not out there digging through all the Reddit theories, and if he hears some of them, like he'll get on there and talk about them and share his thoughts or feelings on them. He's a good he's definitely a good channel. E-Man's movie reviews, definitely like his channel. Yeah, and I believe he's based out of Chicago. I think he's out of Chicago. Maverick Pilgrim says, "Oh man, work is heating up. Got a jet." No problem, man. Have a good day, Maverick Pilgrim. Have a great weekend. You as well. You as well. Aggressively Relaxing says, "All these people suck. All I care about is me getting Spider-Man with the rest of the MCU." And ultimately, that's what I want to. And I think that's what a lot of us want. Just mainly because it just works out better that way. Because when they do, even for me, even if it's just for crossover events, if Sony just does their own Spider-Man movies that don't mess up the continuity of the MCU, I think it would be great for them to just do crossover movies. It doesn't even have to be like the MCU and Disney has to absolutely make those movies. You know what I mean? As long as they, like I said. And I was talking about that yesterday. Reach out to Kevin Feige and be like, okay, like, hey, what would you say we could do, like, so we can continue to play ball here, so we can make our own movies, but then still have crossover movies with you without kind of messing up continuity. Because I think that's something they should care about, even if they continue. Even if they continue not to do like Spider-Man movies produced by Kevin Feige and as part of the MCU, I think that's something they should definitely do. And yeah, so I've got to say, like I was saying, all of this news just seems too convenient. We got D23 coming up this weekend. They're going to be talking about, who, and I've never been to D23. I don't really know, a whole lot about what they do there, but we know they're going to be talking about some of the MCU movies, some of the Disney movies, and just probably some of the other different things that they have coming to their parks, I would guess, just different things like that. At their D23 summit there. Like I said, I've never really been to one, but I mean, they talk about all things Disney, right? Which kind of makes one wonder, if, like, would they really announce anything if they did come to a deal with Spider-Man or anything, or would they let, since it's been just kind of getting a little ugly out there, would they save that for, just a totally separate release so they don't have to do any of that at D23? However, you do know that this weekend at D23, that's going to be the lingering feeling in the room with all this stuff. You think there's going to be people out there wondering about an Aladdin sequel or a Lion King 2 sequel? They're going to be sitting there on the edge of their seats going, ooh, are we going to get a Toy Story 5? Toy Story 5? No. No, I guarantee you, just the thick of the air in the room is going to be filled with what's going on with Spider-Man in the MCU. What's going on? What's going on? Like at this point, people don't even want to know about the rest of the MCU. They don't want to know about the streaming service. They're not asking questions about any of that. At this point, you can see nobody's talking about any of that. Everybody wants to know about Spider-Man, Sony, Marvel going forward. So I think. I don't know. I almost feel like at that point they're not going to announce nothing at Disney 23 regarding any of this news, especially if they don't have a deal worked out. If they don't have a deal worked out, they're definitely not going to talk about it, which is crazy because no matter what, it's still going to be something that everybody's going to want to hear about this weekend at D23, whether they got a deal worked out or not. But again, I guess that also comes down to something else, and maybe that's why we don't hear anything really. We haven't really heard a whole lot of anything response from Disney's side, and I could be wrong on that. If you guys know of anything that Disney said officially about this, please feel free to drop me a link or anything and let me know. I'll happily check that out. But again, they're. I mean, maybe they're going to say their piece here at the. Maybe they're going to say their piece. Maybe they're going to say their piece this weekend at D23. I honestly don't know, but it seems like it would be too much for them to not say anything. And I think that's a bad thing anyway. Like, these days it's so tricky navigating these waters with social media and everything, and all the potential backlash and all this stuff. But we've all noticed that Disney is kind of mastering these things. The art of the knee-jerk reactions. You know what I mean? They're really starting to navigate those waters, and they're learning them, and they're playing around with it. They're really setting a pace, and whether you like it or not is a totally different. That's a totally different conversation. But they're definitely what was I calling it? Outrage marketing. They're perfecting the art of outrage marketing. Right, yeah, he doesn't drop as frequently, but he does do great in-depth reviews. Yeah, E-Man's movie review, definitely. Um, so yeah, it just seems that there's too much. It's like, and I was talking about this. I believe I was talking about this yesterday too. No, it was on Young Ripa, on Young Ripa's live stream yesterday, and he was talking about it. And the one thing I was thinking, like, it almost makes me feel like maybe like Sony goes out and says what they say. Disney hasn't really said much. They might be saving it for this weekend. His daughter comes out and says some stuff. Stanley's daughter comes out and says these things, and it makes me wonder, like, maybe through all of this, maybe the leaks, maybe it almost, like this story leak, maybe it was almost done as a means by both companies to get a feel for the waters, to dip their toes in the water and be like, how's everybody feeling about this? Like, what will the reactions be if we go out there and we let this leak that this is going to happen? We'll see. We're gonna see the knee jerk reactions, but we'll see how people feel. Are they for Sony? Are they for us? Are they for the Spider-Man being in the MCU? I mean, and both companies learn from this mutually. So like, again, this is it just all seems too convenient. Maybe this is one of those things where they're out there kind of orchestrating this thing from the inside and saying, okay, let's do this to really get a feel for how people are going to react and how they're going to feel about the future going forward. Because if depending on how they react, maybe that gives each of us, more bargaining chips, more leverage for, and more better footing on how to move forward with our deals going on in the future. Because if we see that, like, a lot of people are just like, just whatever, kind of like me, then they know, like, okay, well, this person isn't affected. But then we got all these people who are saying, like, hell with Sony, let Disney have them, or hell with Disney. And just they can figure all those numbers out, because all you got to do is listen to the voices that are out there. And so, and seeing, that's another thing where a lot of people are thinking that a lot of these studios don't listen to their viewers, to the audience, and I think they do. And sometimes I think they actually make some of these decisions based on the fact that they know there's probably still going to be a negative reaction, and they want to play on and use that. And that's why I say I believe, truly do believe, that Disney has invented that. They're perfecting that art of the outrage marketing, which by all means, what I'm saying here is I think Disney probably played a huge part in this story getting out just as well. You know what I mean? Because as it came out, when it first came out, Disney was the good guy, you know what I mean? And there's still a lot of people out there, who are looking at this situation saying, "Oh, Disney's the good guy." You got people who were hating on Disney who were saying, "Oh, like finally Disney did something right," or this or that. Like did they? I think they're in on it. They're probably the ones who started it. You know what I mean? And maybe that's why we've heard those reactions from Sony later that same day, and some of these different things going on. And maybe that's why, somebody like Stanley's daughter wouldn't be in on it, and all of a sudden she's in here saying stuff. And again, I gotta ask, why is she all of a sudden saying something? You know what I mean? Why is she all of a sudden something? I mean, like, oh, hey, there's trouble and turmoil going on. There's a power struggle going on here. Maybe I can leverage this somehow in some sort of way to benefit me. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know this woman or her family, how she represents the family or anything like that. It just seems too convenient. It just all seems way too convenient, and that, because that's what people do these days. And like I said, I can't speak to anybody's character or anything like that. And if you ask me, like I said, sure, Disney's in all this stuff for the money, and do they not care? I mean, no. I mean, I think they care about all this. I think they love Stan. If anything, we know that Kevin Feige has the utmost respect and loves Stan Lee. But I mean, again, they are in a business, and of course they're in it to make money. But again, I mean, it just makes me wonder, what's really going on, here, like with these statements from his daughter. Because while she might be right, and she probably does feel that way, I mean, I'm not saying that she doesn't genuinely feel that way towards Disney or anything like that, or even Marvel. I just, it just kind of makes me beg to differ, ask the question though too. I mean, like, what's her stake in it? I mean, like, I mean, there's got to be more to that side of it. You know what I mean? There's just got to be more. I just don't see there not being, because why would she all of a sudden now decide, while there's a seeming power struggle going on, she comes out and says something? I mean, does she, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it. Does she own like stock or any stake or any kind of percentage or get royalties from all of this stuff that happens, whether it's Disney, Marvel Studios, Marvel in general, or Sony? I mean, is she invested in any of that? You know, what was her relationship like with her father in the first place? Is she just now looking at this as a way to capitalize and get some attention and, garner support for maybe a book that's been written that's going to be coming out soon, or any number of things, and that's what I'm saying. All of this stuff just seems to be way too convenient, going on at the same time, with D23 coming out, the success of Spider-Man. Just, I don't know. And like I said, them disrespecting Stanley. I mean, I think, obviously it was a business deal. I mean, they paid for some properties. Originally it wasn't even Disney that paid for them. They ended up buying them. But all of these things, all of these different things happen. So at the same time, while I totally get, any decent person would reach out to somebody and extend their condolences for sure. But I also look at it for them like it's a business transaction. I mean, they bought some IPs. I mean, to what do they owe anybody really after that? You know what I mean? And I'm sure I'm probably gonna get some people upset at me for saying that, but I mean, it's the honest truth. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Is what do they? I mean, I'm not. If it was me, I might be upset too. I don't know. Hell, if it was me and it was my family, I might be upset too. But and to the point where react emotionally, and I might be upset at somebody like me even saying like, oh, like, what's, what do they owe you though? Like, what do they owe you? And that's sometimes I ask myself that a lot when it comes to things, is like, what do I owe somebody? What do they owe me? What, do they owe anything? Like I said, they bought these properties, and that's really about it. It was a business transaction, and most of us know that the corporate machine, they don't care about the average human. They don't care about the average human in the first place. They see us as a number. They see us as a dollar sign and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, I know. I know that. You probably know that. But the overwhelming populace, do they all realize that? Some of them act like they do and things like that, but do they? I don't know. It's just something, just kind of something that I look at when I see all these things just all of a sudden happening, dropping one by one throughout the week, every single day. It's been something new. You know, it's like a new story every single day. So it's just like the same thing with all the speculation and rumors that were coming out when some of these trailers are getting ready to come out. When they're as it's coming up day to day to day to day, everybody's like, "Ooh, something's going on! It's brewing! Something's coming!" And it is. I think that it is, and I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. Um, let's see. Aggressively relaxing says the only thing that could change the news at this point would be something like a Star Wars trailer. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. You know what? Yeah. And that maybe that's their plan. Maybe that's their plan. Maybe that's their plan at D23 is they're going to release some sort of new they're gonna release some sort of new trailer or something for the next Star Wars that's getting ready to come up to it's already got people upset, that's gonna upset people even more, get them talking even more, so then they can avoid talking about Spider-Man altogether. I'm on to you, man. I'm on to you. I got you. Mads Mama Bear, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for so much for being here. Always supportive Mads Mama Bear is of me and so many other channels out there. She's absolutely awesome. Steve Lathrop, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, sir. I hope you're having a good day. And you know what, Steve? You need to say, I need to see if I can get some links to some of those videos that you did, because I was talking about some of your videos here on one of my shows the other day, talking about some of those videos that you did there, and I want to share those with some people. Aggressively relaxing says, Sony, you want more money? We will take our ball and go home. Disney, okay, I'll let the world know. The world, Sony sucks. We remember Spider-Man 3. Look at what you did to Jamie Foxx. Stay down, you. Oh, aggressively relaxing. You crack me up, man. I'm telling you. Definitely crack me up. In case you guys don't follow Aggressively Relaxing, you need to go to his channel and check out his content. He does these great, they do these great videos where they're doing like parody, like Marvel, like they're like AM radio or FM radio, like parodies of what's going on in Marvel comics. And they just did one. Was that earlier this week? That you did about the credit card thing, the credit card fraud deal. Like, dude, it was absolute hilarity. Absolute hilarity. I think I shared it on Twitter. You guys should go check it out and check out Aggressively Relaxing's content, man. Funny, funny stuff. Here, I'm going to check this really quick, man. I got these people going crazy over here on Twitter. Yeah, see, I need to get some more of these dudes here on the show as well. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. All this just seems too convenient. Like, what's really going on here? There's got to be some bigger news coming. We see the drum roll coming. The drum roll is here. Where's the I don't know what they call that. When it's all done and they're all, you hear all the cymbals going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they call it. What would that be? I honestly can't think of what it'd be called. Dang, man. These dudes is going crazy on my Twitter. This is just some of my friends from the TV show. I keep talking the stream we do. Some black guys and a drunk. It's our group. When we're in there messaging each other just about different stuff. And if you guys haven't checked out that stream, you guys definitely should. We get on there and just talk about just different things going on in the world. Not even just movie news or pop culture news. Some of it's just like different things that are going on out there. Like, remember that whole ice cream licking thing? We were talking about that. We kind of talked, this last Tuesday, kind of got into some more serious stuff, and some people in the chats got a little bit heated because it's just a subject that people are very passionate about. So those are the kind of discussions that we have over there on Drunk 3PO's channel during some Black Guys in a Drunk. But that's I'm gonna try to go ahead and cut this short today, folks, because it's Friday. I got a lot of stuff I've got to get done, and don't forget, we've got the Trailer Park Live coming up tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, you guys might want to tune in for that. I've got some comic book reviews that I've got to get shot and get ready to put up, and I'll probably have some of those up here over the weekend. My Patreon supporters will get a first look at those. More than likely, you'll see them here dropping this weekend. Patreon supporters, they'll be uploaded, so you can check those out. But I've got some things planned for tonight that I want to see if I can get shot and get done. So I'm going to try to get out of here here and get out to work early, so I can get home and get some of these videos shot. Because some of the you guys see, I do some of my live stream video. I do it well produced, like I do it with my good camera and all that stuff. I haven't yet have the funds to upgrade like video capture card and stuff like that, so I can use my nice camera to live stream for you all. So hopefully I can do that. But definitely make sure you tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to check out the Trailer Park Live, because I will be going over a couple of the comic books that I pulled for the week. I've got a couple things to say about those, but those are going to be books that are going to have full-on reviews being done this weekend. And in case you guys haven't been to the Trailer Park Live, it's where I get a little bit more me. I get a little bit more me, and I get a little bit more rated R, and I curse a little more, and I don't know, maybe do I pull out all the stops? The gloves are off during the Trailer Park Live? I don't know. You tell me. You let me know. But you guys should make sure, thank you all so much for being here. Please make sure you're subscribed. Click the little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And, like I said earlier, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, give it a thumbs down. I honestly don't care. But while you're at it, most importantly, make sure you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Later. Ooh. Oh, I'm messing up there. Alright. Later.